went too deep into the chicane after the tunnel, and he went into the wall, and then he just came straight across the track, and I had nowhere to go. I was trying to stick with them, but the tires started dying. Good luck, guys, because I was concentrating so hard.
Do you know what else was dying? The stream with laughter, because we are fucking amazing.
We're just a bunch of
I heard every single thing.
We was talking about pies and everything. We are too good at commentating.
I heard.
We are too good at commentating.
I love the fact that you guys could find everything out of everyone's name, but you couldn't find anything for mine.
The only thing out of yours that I can reference with dubs is N-dubs, the old rap thing from back in the day.
Oh, don't, man, they were pissed.
No.
Another dubstep. Wow.
Love it. Fucking, that's going down. Where's my pen? Write that down for Thursday. Another dubstep.
Dubsteps for pussies.
Depends if you don't get the podium. Unorthodox doesn't step on the podium.
Oh, fuck's sake. That's it. I'm going for podium. Where are we? Monza. That's if I don't make the podium.
I'm going to pay somebody to take you out so they don't get the podium.
You're in the race with me.
Hang on, what are you talking, race 1 or 2? Because Dean Wasaki's banned for race 1. But I'm sure he'll gladly do it race 2.
Race 1, I'm going for race 1 at race 1.
We'll see.
That would have been so sick if Bunny Adventures was with us, man. That would have been sick.
That'd have been a great battle.
Yeah, I'm seeing in the stream now. That was so good. I thought it was going to be a shit show, but it wasn't. It was really good.
It was a semi-shit show.
Fury's granddad commented, well, that takes the biscuit. What a legend. What a fucking legend he is. Oh, dear.
He messaged me on Facebook earlier. He added me on Facebook. Fury's granddad did.
Harold, Jeffrey.
Legend.
His name is Tony.
Tony Fury.
Joseph.
Tyson.
He's got a different surname because it's his mum's dad.
Ah. So his name's
Hans.
Oh, it's not Joseph Senior, is it?
Oh no, his name's Tony.
Oh, fucking hell, because fucking Joseph is...
Could you imagine if it was
always talking
Tyson?
about his Uncle Tony.
Oh, Tony Fury. Oh.
I'm not going to send me through some more.
I love that name last week. We was enjoying that name last week, we was.
There's more Morgan doing already, G.
I was enjoying the rename of everyone's like overtakes, like the Sutty
Oh,
safety.
what? Oh, the on Thursday, like the Sutty safety and the Liam lunge, the Dan dive.
Yeah. Doesn't work with unorthodox, does it?
Not really, no. They picked a name that doesn't really go well with anything.
That's good, isn't it?
Not really. Because it's basic, it means it's stupid. That's dumpster. Yeah, trash.
Emo gay.
I'm bisexual, so that doesn't really get to me.
Ooh. Oh, are you? So am I.
Oh, come here then. Big boy.
Gee, should we go and set up another party and leave these two to it?
Hey, I'm commentating with you, Matt.
That's alright, you've got the break.
You've got to share a box with me.
Just be careful
He's
of the
gone
eyes.
quiet now. He's gone quiet now.
Just be careful of the eyes, that's all I'm saying. If you look around and he's looking downwards slightly with his eyes right at you, you know something's wrong.
Well, I'm going to freshen up at the toilet, so I'll be back in 2 seconds. Andy, you've missed it all. Right, I'll be back in 2 secs.
What did I miss? Oh no! Did they propose?
Don't know what happened.
Dan, I heard about your proposal to Ian.
Yeah. I mean,
And the
you
worst
guys
part
missed
is
out. You guys.
Now he's gonna be stuck in a box with Matt.
You guys missed out. You guys missed out on on an interesting session when me and emo guy were doing Formula X's. You know, yeah.
Ran out in park.
He was
I think
playing
we should
Kiss
rename
Chase,
it
mate.
Formula XO. To be fair.
Oh yeah, it was very exciting. Many X's, many X's.
All the X's.
But they have to be big X's as well. They can't be little ones.
No. Tell me,
Tell me,
tell me he's got a one raised button.
Sit on my spam. I was gonna be like, you had a one way spam, remember? Ollie?
He's gonna be in the chat like, oh, you took your fucking time. Oh, I'm still annoyed by that race.
General chat.
General chat.
Type in, oh no.
The curious rocker, but cheers whoever reversed through Portier in front of me. That's why I caught him so much. And then lost it again.
It depends, anything can happen in the sprint race.
Yeah, man. I was the favourite to win that race and I fucked it up. Pussy ass.
Did you see what I put in there, Andy?
But the stewards had a discussion, you're to reverse around the track in both races.
But imagine if he did that, but was like more consistent.
Oh
Like
god.
you lot fucked it up and crashed, and then he actually goes past backwards. That would be embarrassing, wouldn't it?
It would be the Paul Walker Fast and Furious flip off.
Yeah.
We all calm down a bit.
No.
No.
I've warmed up for you, Matt. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got the lube ready. The lube's ready.
That's because I'm watching now. I'm now watching. That's why.
For fuck's sake.
Do you not watch when you race?
Not now, no. Because Andy puts me off. He's my fucking curse.
No, it's not just Andy, it's me and all.
Dan, don't mess up.
Andy is my curse. Anytime in LMP2, he always talks about me. Looty McShooty, I love it. We're missing Andy.
Oh, gee, you fucking forgot about me.
God damn it, G.
Oh, what? Oh shit, sorry boys.
God damn it, Andy.
Dickhead.
You had one job.
In the wise words of Ian. In the wise words of Ian, you dickhead.
I've never once said that.
You're dickhead.
Never heard him say
Say
Oh,
that.
God.
wanker.
That was about as bad as Andy's Scottish accent.
You wee
Fucking
fucking
hell.
fanny.
There we
You
go.
dickhead.
There we go.
In the chat.
No. There's no DJ. You've got to get
fucking
DJ Phil.
bastard.
Not worth commentating if DJ Phil's not there.
Phil.
Sorry, there.
Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Oh, shoulders.
Shoulders left. John Boyce's coming, he had to restart the application.
Where is Mr. DJ? Oh, he's in Brace Central.
Where's
Oh,
Mr. DJ?
He texted me while I was commentating there, saying, "What did he say?" With his fucking.
I'm the boss.
He says, "I'm looking at being mid-park somewhere in Clio, and I'm watching the stream live right now."
Oh, you don't say.
Well done, considering you commented on it saying hi, Andy. Fuck saying hi to me then. Just text me. Bellend. You sit mid-park, because everybody else will sit mid-pack.
Hey Andy, it's Phil. DJ Phil, Big Phil, Notorious Phil. Notorious PHIL.
Who's there?
That's his problem.
Who's that, Phil?
You know what we can do? You know what we can do?
Spam.
You know what we can just fucking make a tier 3 just for him.
I'll bring Dean with him.
Soggy.
He's inserted. The oldest driver we've got on grid, I think, is Deeks. He's like 40 odd, 45.
Oh, so he's a coffin dodger.
Wait, what's our oldest?
9.
The
10.
oldest driver.
I was gonna say, if we get my dad involved, it'd be 51 then. 50.
Yeah, Cinderella Tour was 56.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Who's the youngest driver you got? Fiore?
Nothing.
Ayrton
Series
Stefano.
15.
Well, no, I think Fury's younger than Ayrton Stefano. I'm not sure.
What age is Little Leech?
Oh, Little Leech is like
27.
20
Because his garage
Thank
and
you.
brother and
Yeah,
garage just
then.
turned 30.
Yeah, I think Fury is the youngest.
Yeah, he texted me saying, am I the youngest in your league? And it was like, no, Keegs is.
Well, who was that wee stupid boy that we had for a while? The one that actually sounds like a speaker. He was with us for like 3 races, then fucked
Scrabble.
off.
Scrabble Carrion.
Yeah, Scrabble. Aye. He was like 13 or something. Yeah. Only one, he fucking deserved it. What?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
So, you know, it's during his first race. He got, I think it was like 2nd or 3rd place, and he was screaming out they could, they could go first, like he didn't go first. Like he just won the championship. It was like, come what the fuck, man? Yeah, same here.
Best of luck, G. Best of luck, Ian. Best of luck, Andy.
Enjoy the race. Cheers,
Please
mate.
don't leave me alone with Dan.
Enjoy the race.
Oh, Matt.
No touchy touch.
Sorry, Ian. I'll save it for when we're alone.
Oh, thank you, Billy. Alright, catch you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I'm still annoyed with that race.
Why? Second's good point.
Yeah, but if Zeus hadn't crashed, I would have been in front. Oh wow.
I'm actually full. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tier 1s here at Motive Racing around Monaco. The sprint race, excuse me, sorry. The sprint race here for the Tier 1 category, just a 10-minute practice session to start things off, and then we'll be underway with the rolling grid. I'm joined in the box by P2 Man, Unorthodox, aka Dan Davis. Evening, Dan.
Evening, Matt. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, you?
Stressed.
How was it out there for yourself in the first race?
I honestly thought it was going to be chaotic, but it was actually great fun. I really enjoyed it. Had a great race with DeHuis Rocker and Zeus and Disco Racing Stew. So it was good. It was good fun. I enjoyed it. It's very tricky and very tight. So I obviously in Tier 2, but these Tier 1 guys, if you can make moves, I'll be impressed because I was struggling. I think I only made one overtake in the whole race, so good luck to these guys.
Indeed. G leads the championship coming into this one, 4 points ahead of Motoring Morgan, and is on a bounce of 4 wins in a row. Can he make it 5 tonight? He'll have to do that from the back of the pack. Motoring Morgan, like I say, is currently in P2. He has 3 wins this season, but a few races recently just falling short of G. And as you saw last week at Hockenheim, he didn't have any answer to G's pace whatsoever. In third place is Little Each, currently 57 off the leaders, slowly falling too far behind to do anything about it. John Boy only 2 points behind him in P4. We've got Gary 131, who is back on circuit tonight. Obviously missed last week after a knee operation, so it's good to see Gary back. And can he get the laps in? I do believe he's on the wheel tonight, but we're using his buttons as accelerator and brakes. We'll have to see. Shoulders is then just behind Gary by 10 points at the moment, with Emo Guy a bit further behind him. BT Troger, a man who's just seems to get better and better as the season goes on, still sits mid-pack, and that for me is quite a shock as we are entering the penultimate round of the season. So it's a bit of a dodgy one, that one. Melted Dazza then behind him, quite a way behind as well. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to make any more places up in this title. Fury only has 78 points to his name in this one this season. Hasn't really shown his true pace. Nick the Villa, 57 points. He's got a lot of work to do from where he is. Andy came into the season last week, 2 third places, 54 points straight out the gate. That's a great start to him. DJ Phil, not currently with us on circuit at the moment, is on 52 points. Looty McShooty made his debut at Sonoma. Hang on, just looking. Sonoma, yeah. No, we did Hockenheim last week. It says Sonoma on this calendar. Not sure why. But either way, Looty McShooty made his debut last week and is on 37 points. He had pace at times last week. Can he back that up here at Monaco? Smoky Devil then sits on 27. And Charlie Goff, I do believe we have tonight, has only got 7 points to his name after he raced last week as well at Hockenheim. Dan, who's the pick of the bunch for you going into this first race? Obviously, the grid sorted by the reverse championship order.
I would have to say it has to be an outside bet. It has to be someone who's starting at the front. Unless they all get caught up with each other, then I don't know how the leaders are going to come through. The likes of G, Motoring Morgan, all that lot are going to really struggle coming through the pack. I'm going to put my... I want to say it, but I might jinx him. But I might put my money on Andy.
That's fine, because he jinxes everybody when he
jinxes me.
He jinxes everybody when he predicts for people to win. So you jinxing him, it's about time he got his just dessert. But yeah, Andy's a good shout from P5. Looty McShooty, I think, is also another one to watch out for from P3 on the grid. He's, like I said, he's shown pace last week. You know, good fight with Little Leech and Melted Dazza. He could be one to take it for me, starting P3 on the grid. Like I say, it is going to be hard for G, Morgan, Little Leech, John Boy, Gary to sort of come through the pack on such a tight circuit.
Very much so. There isn't much space around Monaco, especially to overtake, so it's going to be very difficult for the likes of G and Motoring Morgan to get through. So it could be the likes of Looty McShooty, BT Targa, and Andy and Fury. Any one of these guys could get their first potential race win. This has really opened up for everyone, but it would be impressive to see if Motoring Morgan and G can get through.
Indeed they could. The starting grid then will be Charlie Goff, Smoky Devil, Looty McShooty P3 with DJ Phil Green 4th, Andy in 5th with Fury 6th, Melted Dazza 7th, BT Troger 8th, Ian aka Mogai 9th, Shoulders 10th, Gary 131 in P11 with John Boy 12th, Little Each 13th, Motoring Morgan 14th, and on the back row on his grid is the only G. And you see the graphic has just finished on your screen, or has just got to G on your screen. So we're in for a good one tonight. I think we are in for an unpredicted result. Race 1 could give us something a bit more shocking than race 2. Obviously, everybody allowed to qualify for that one. So we'll see what happens here. Fury, we're on board of just clattering the walls there as he comes through, or what comes up toward is the swimming pool section of this circuit. Currently sat in P13, not done a time yet. And we've just got DJ Phil in the session as well, so good to see that DJ Phil's managed to get in.
Looks like Fury's struggling. I know for a fact that Fury's using a pad, so I would assume that using the pad would be very difficult. I definitely use a wheel, and I was struggling with a wheel, so it must be very difficult for anyone who's using a pad. And for Fury, he might be getting really frustrated right now.
I take my hat off, Dan, to anybody who can race on the pad. because I just can't. I've got the wheel. Obviously, I do suffer with back problems, but I tend to just sit and watch everybody. Even if I'm on the game with the lads who I play with, I just sit and watch because there's no way I'm getting the pad to use because it's so difficult. Tried it once and will never go back there. I'd rather not race.
Yeah, I'm used to run the pad, and when you first get the game, I was using controller all the time, and but very much so I was not running without traction control and stability. I had to make sure those were definitely on.
Yeah.
But after a while you learn to adjust to it. But now I'm on the wheel, I barely ever touch the controller.
Yeah.
The wheel is just ideal, and to anyone who is doing racing games and is using a controller, I highly recommend investing in the wheel because it just makes the racing so much more fun and entertaining.
It really does. It is really worth the money. You will, if you're worried that you won't find the time to use the wheel, or you think you're not going to use it as much, trust me. Well, the minute you get the wheel and you get a bit of practice on the wheel, you'll be right there. Got a few comments coming in on Twitch. Not quite sure what that one is, and that's been sent 4 times. Wanna become famous by followers, primes and viewers? No, we're fine, thank you. Sent in by 4 different people, the exact same message. Jamie Brazy saying don't diss the pad, and then said thank you, Matt. Obviously I praised everybody who used the pad. Fury's granddad, evening to him. Good evening, Fury's granddad, nice to see you here as always on the Motive channel, sharing on with Fury. Looty McShooty currently the quickest man out there, but we have not seen times from DJ Phil, Motory Morgan, Smoky Devil, Gary, Fury, Charlie Goff and the only G. So Looty McShooty really showing pace at the moment. A 10th quicker than John Boy, half second quicker than Shoulders, just under a second quicker than BT Traga, and Little Each currently 1.2 back. Andy only 6th quickest at the moment, but this is practice and it doesn't really mean a lot. It's possibly just fine-tuning a setup for the race, you'd say.
Yeah, they're just trying to figure out the conditions, trying to figure out the cars. For some drivers, they haven't even done any practice yet, so it's kind of getting their feet wet and trying to figure out what's what. I know for a fact that Andy hasn't done much practice, so he's probably just trying to find his way through the car, trying to get a nice feel and try and figure out where he can be. But we probably won't see G in this session at all. He likes to keep his cards close to his chest, so G's probably just going to be quite happy to just sit in the pit and just watch.
Oh, indeed, G does. He might come out and set one lap. As we say that, he is out on circuit. I don't think he's going to get around to do a lap time. We see Little Each here just coming up to the swimming pool chicane. Little Each obviously still the defending tier 2 champion until Dan, Zeus, or on Orthodubs is Dan.
That's me.
Dehuis Rocket, Dan, aka Unorthodox, or Zeus, I couldn't think of Dehuis Rocker's name then, win the title next week. Tour 1 then win it. This man is still currently the tier 2 champion and has really found his form in tier 1. He's sort of got into a groove, currently sits 3rd in the championship, just ahead of John Boy. Really found his feet. He's made that step up at Dan, and he's really got to grips with it quickly. Sometimes you might struggle early on, but Little Each has been on the pace from the word go.
Of course, Little Each is a great driver. I race him in sim plays, and he's always very respectful, gives you space, and he is fast as well, and very consistent as well. Very much like I believe Gary, his brother.
Yeah,
right?
Gary. Yep, Gary, older brother.
Yeah, very much. The Leach brothers really do race you hard, and they race you fair as well.
Yeah.
And Little Each has proved that. He's moved from tier 2 into tier 1. And he's really shown that he deserves to be in tier 1, obviously fighting with the top guys. And it's not easy racing with these guys as well, because I know for a fact they will push you hard.
Yeah, Morgan and G really are the cream of the crop here. Andy as well, let's not discount Andy, only came into it last week. But you're right, Little Each and Gary race you hard but fair, and it's great racing to have when you race side by side with them two. BT Traga and John Boy as well, 2 other guys that can race you hard but fair, have done so well this season in the league. We saw BT Traga at Snetterton have a really good round and take some really good points as well, racing up the sharp end off the grid. Can he get a similar result tonight? Emo Guy with Fury, always kind of see these two slipstreaming each other. I don't think this is the track to be slipstreaming, lads, if I'm going to be honest with you.
No, very not. I don't. Fury looks like he's trying to annoy Ian, and Ian's trying to annoy Fury, so they're just going to flash lights at each other. But the problem is they're holding up Shoulders right now, so if Shoulders on a good lap, then they're literally hindering him. So
yeah,
it looks like Ian is pushing Fury around the track.
It's a good job this is a practice session.
Very much so. If we go on board with Ian now, it's probably not what you want to be seeing. Another car in front of you and going into the swimming pool here is fast and tight and twisty here, and Fury is probably not helping the situation.
This is what's going to make qualifying for race 2 even more exciting, Dan. The fact that you can get... Oh, he dive bombs up the inside into Raskas and just finds the Yokohama sponsoring board as Melted Daz across the slide to finish his lap. Emo Guy really did lunge up the inside of Fury there. And I was about to say, this is what you're going to find yourself in qualifying for race 2. You can get this kind of traffic. You may not want to back out if you was, like you say, in shoulders. You may be on a faster lap and you may want to get the job done. But sometimes it's just going to be easier to sacrifice a lap, get that space on track, and go for track position.
Yeah, no, I was in my qualifying session, I was down in a sector and I was just about to catch up to some traffic, so I knew that I wasn't going to improve, so the best thing I could have done was just bail out and try and make space. But I just see guys will have to do a formation lap to get themselves in order of the grid, and from there they will then, whoever's the leader, I believe, who was the leader again? Right?
So Charlie Goff will start us on pole. I'll just quickly run down the list if that's alright, Dan, to remind the viewers.
Yep.
Charlie Goff will start on pole, followed by Smokey Devil. Row 2 will be Looty McShooty and DJ Phil Green. Row 3 will be Andy and Fury. Row 4 is Melted Dazzler and BT Trogger. Row 5 is Emo Guy and Shoulders. Row 6 is Gary and John Boy. Row 7, Little Leach and Motoring Morgan. And on his own on the back, the only G. So Charlie Goff takes us away with Smokey Devil. It's going to be an interesting one. Looty McShooty I'm interested to see from P3. Obviously, with it being a rolling start, the run you could get out the final corner, let's not forget, it's all down to Charlie Goff when we go. He's got all the way down to the line before he can light it up and send the car towards turn 1. But I fancy Looty McShooty. If Charlie Goff goes too early, Looty McShooty could be one to watch come to the first corner.
Fair enough. Looty McShooty is going to be trying to push for that now. But I'm going to put my money on Andy. My money on Andy. So it all depends on what Charlie Goff does. If he gets a great start and he pulls away, then he could... His track position. We've seen in many F1 races and any other races that have been here to Monaco, track position is key. You could be the slowest driver on the track, but as long as you're in front and you can defend, this is going to be very difficult for anyone to pass.
To back your point up there, look at the Daniel Ricciardo at the Red Bull team, was so consistent. I think had a problem and then went into the pits. The pit crew weren't ready for him.
He was down 100 brake horsepower one year, wasn't he? And he had to fight
with Seb in the Ferrari, and he managed to come off on top. The year he was so consistent, led Hamilton for so long, and his pit crew wasn't ready for him. I tell you what we are ready for, though. We're ready for lights out, and it's green here for the formation lap. Charlie Goff. Question I want to ask you, Dan. If you was Charlie Goff in this position, you've got to lead them all the way. When would you drop the hammer to go? When would you do it coming on the exit to the final corner? Go the minute you put the throttle down, or would you wait till the start line?
It's a tricky one, because if you go as you come out of the corner, then people might still be able to keep that run on you and do a send it down the inside. But and if you leave it too late, if you go to the line, then people are going to be aware that you're going to do that tactic. If it was me, I'd come out the final corner, and then just a couple 100 yards down the road, I would then go just a random spot where no one would think, and just go.
So sort of halfway, 3/4 of the way down, just decide it right.
I would say like a quarter of a way down, more like
quarter, not 3/4.
Yeah, I'd say about a quarter, just to catch people out. But that's what I would do. I don't know what Charlie Goff's going to do. He might just launch it out of the final corner. We just never know. He might hold until the very end of the pit straight and then go then. But it's up to him at the end. But he's got to control the pace now and keep that pack nice and compact at the minute.
Indeed he has. 26 people watching on the stream. Guys, get that thumbs up hit. We want to see 26 like on the stream before the end of the night. If you've not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel as well. If you want to get in touch with the Motive Racing guys over anything, if you want to join the leagues, head over to www.motiveracing.com. Search them on Facebook at Motive Racing, or head over to their Discord server. Search for Motive Racing on there. Plenty of things to do here at Motive Racing, whether you want to be a steward, a commentator, a driver, someone who just does some graphics for them for the streams. They've got plenty of things I'm sure they can get you to do if you don't want to fancy a hand at racing. The car's just coming through the tunnel. I'm just going to go down that list one more time to make sure we have a start the start grid that we need. So Charlie Goff P1, yes. Smoky Devil P2, yes. Looty McShooty in third, brilliant. DJ Phil sits fourth, yep. Andy in P5 with Fury in 6th. Melted Dazza 7th. BT Traga 8th. Emo Guy in 9th. Shoulders 10th. Gary 11th. John Boy in 12th. Little Leech 13th, Motoring Morgan 14th, and G in 15th. So we are all ready to go here, and this could be cracking.
Oh, it's going to be so good. I'm excited. I am on the edge of my seat. When is Charlie Goff going to go? That's the question. And what can everyone else do? I'm going to try my best to keep an eye on what's going on track. But keep your eyes peeled. Everybody watching, hit those likes, because if you like Tier 2, you're going to enjoy Tier 1.
Just quickly to answer Carl Walker on Facebook, safety car, no, it's a formation lap to get into grid order. It's reverse championship standings, so it's just a formation lap to get into grid order. And out the final corner we come, and Charlie Goff has gone here, and I tell you what, he's caught Smoky Devil out because he's already away. And look at Andy already having a look at DJ Phil. DJ Phil can sometimes just give you the positions a bit too easy for my liking, and he's moved out of Andy's way, and Fury's going to really send one up the inside of DJ Phil, and they just have a bit of a tap coming into turn 1. Dazza was all sideways coming on the exit to the corner, as was Emo Guy, and Phil a bit slow to get away on the exit of turn 1 then, and he's just had a bit of a bump from a few cars, and he's dropping down the order, and he still just stays out the way a little bit for my liking. Who's at that? His Shoulders, who's had a bit of a moment there, I do believe. Drop behind Little Leech, and now Motoring Morgan. Little Leech trying to go the long way around John Boy, but Morgan's going to look up his inside. He'll have to think about that one as he gets pushed out a bit wide coming through the casino part of the track. Morgan taking the F1 line, G going more over the hill, and look at G here, sending one up the inside of Shoulders. Job done into Maribel and through the Grand Hotel, hairpin into Portier. It's a good drive. What's happened to Charlie Goff? He's down to P3 on my screen. Smoky Devil leads this race from Looty McShooty, and look at Looty McShooty through the tunnel, really pressuring Smoky Devil. Andy and Charlie Goff are side by side, so are Looty McShooty and Smoky Devil. This is fantastic racing. Looty McShooty up the inside as they come into, brilliant move into the Norville chicane. And Andy's also got into P3. Fury's gone up into P4 ahead of Charlie Goff, so great overtakes already in this race.
Fury's always good on that first lap. He always makes up places.
Oh, Goff in the wall.
Just see Johnny Booth. Oh, Charlie's really struggling at the minute. He went from the lead and he's hitting every single wall. But
not what he wants.
This has made a massive queue up behind him. This is not what the likes of Motor Morgan and G want to be seeing.
Oh, Gary's having a look on a move.
Oh, who's that?
Fury had a bit of an incident there, and Gary was sending one up the inside of, I do believe, BT Traga. Little Leech has now got past Gary and Emo Guy, and Emo Guy and Gary are into the wall on the exit of the final corner, and Emo Guy and Gary into the wall. What has happened there, I don't know. But it all got started when Fury and Andy looked like they made contact coming into Raskas on the exit of that. Motoring Morgan now up into P10 on the back of John Boy as we head up towards Massenet for lap 2 of this race. Shocking scenes at the exit of Raskas there, Dan.
Yeah, that was all a little bit too messy, that was. I don't know what happened to Fury and Andy, but because whatever happened to them... Oh, geez, looking around the outside of Motoring Morgan. Can he get it done? He should have the... He thought about it. These two are fighting for the championship, and at the minute, they can't seem to make any more distance as they are now, but they don't want to be squabbling over each other right now. They want to try and be getting through the pack as quickly as possible, because already they're 10 seconds back from Looty McShooty, the man you had picked for the race win, and at the minute, he's running away with it. Smoky Devil has also had a good start. Smoky Devil has had a great start as well. He's sitting there in second, and Andy still not sure what happened in that final set of corners, but he's sitting in third at the minute.
It was very messy, wasn't it? We didn't see that from the Tier 2 lads. Maybe the Tier 1 lads can take a page out of your guys' book from earlier. But it was very messy coming out of Raskas. John Boy looking all over the back of Little Leech as BT Traga has got past Charlie Goff. And I tell you what, John Boy has absolutely sent one into the chicane there. And Little Leech is having to move out of the way. I think he's got a slowdown penalty. What's happened to Motoring Morgan in the background? He's had an incident. G slowing down as well. Emo Guy and Gary. Yeah, I think he is. Emo Guy and Gary come flying past both of them there. So just a bit scruffy from these Tier 1 lads. We saw John Boy absolutely lunge up the inside of Little Leech and Charlie Goff, and it did not pay off. And now Little Leech lost out to John Boy and Shoulders. Oh, scenes.
I'll tell you what. I think the problem is that the Charlie Goff here is just struggling with pace.
Yeah.
So he's now just become a mobile chicane for everyone. And because as soon as he makes a little mistake, it then Constantine are up. And because they keep building up and building up, it just seems to just fall apart for everyone.
John Boy into turn one's got through. Yeah, it looked like good.
And
Charlie Goff
Little
round
Leach.
wide. Shoulders and Little Leach up the inside, and Little Leach is side by side with Shoulders coming up towards Massa. Here we go. If he can hold it around the outside, Little Leach, he'll have the inside for the Casino chicane. He's tucked in behind Shoulders, but look, tries to pull back out on the inside again. It's not the quickest way around this corner. Can he set himself up for the Casino left right-hander? No, he can't. It's interesting to see the different lines coming down this straight after Casino. Some people taking the F1 line and avoiding the hump. Others choosing to go straight over the top of it. Excuse me.
Yeah, very, very much different lines. I was mixing it up each time. I didn't think it really made too much of a difference, but some people choose it. Oh, Gary's gone wide. Oh, and he just hangs on there from Emo Guy, but these two can't seem to separate from each other. Winter and Morgan goes down the inside of Ian. Can he get that move? And G's going with him, but doesn't quite have the run. This is a great fight, but the sad thing is these guys are fighting for 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th.
And we said in the practice session, Dan, that these guys are going to struggle to get through the pack, and struggle they have. It's already chaos here, and Morgan at the moment has the upper hand in terms of the championship. Andy, though, P3, and well ahead of all these at the back of the pack, really getting on the back of Smoky Devil here as they come into Raskas for the third time and about to start lap 5 of the race. 4th overall, though, because don't forget the first lap was formation. This has been such a good race. Looty McShooty 6.5 seconds up the road from this pair. Then he's just gone. BT Traga trying to gain on the back of Melted Dazza. He managed to get past Charlie Goff early and has not looked back since then. Charlie Goff is down in P10, and as you can see, this battle has dropped him, and now Charlie Goff is a mobile chicane for the Gary Motor and Morgan Emo Guy and G battle. So wherever he is, he's involved.
Oh my god. Look at these guys coming up to Charlie Goff. Charlie Goff must be absolutely panicking seeing these guys.
Emo Guy's going up the inside of Morgan. Gary looks in the inside of Charlie Goff, and Charlie Goff and Gary touch. Morgan's in the wall, and I think Emo Guy put him there. Charlie Goff again, another mobile chicane. DJ Phil hanging back. DJ Phil, come on, man. You can gain so many places here. But Gary went up the inside of Goff, and did Goff close the door? I'm not sure, but Morgan got put in the wall by Emo Guy. Gary, don't forget, alternate wheel setting tonight after his knee operation. No excuses. He'll know he'll be disappointed with this result, as G trying to go around the outside into Maribor on Gary 131, and it's easy to place your car here where you're not going to let the car behind past.
No, that was a little bit messy there. I think obviously, like we said, Charlie seems to be struggling, and 5 cars into one corner really doesn't work at all. And the one who's missed out on all of that is Motor Morgan. He has had a torrid start to this weekend here in Monaco, and he can't seem to get any luck in this race. He seems to be caught in so many incidents. G, again, has been caught in them, but he's just had a little bit more luck here. He's now behind Gary, and he's trying to find a way through, and I'm very impressed with Gary. The way he's driving with a different setup on a wheel, it's very difficult. You're so used to driving one way, and to have to change is very difficult. And
to change very well and to keep G behind you
around Monaco.
Yeah, a hat's off to him. Oh, he's made a bit of a mistake there, and G's gets a run now coming down towards Raskas, and he's made that one stick early on, and I'm sure Gary's not going to have too many complaints about that. Further forward, Fury has dropped back behind Shoulders. BT Traga has picked himself up a time penalty. Andy has dropped off the back of Smoky Devil, I've just noticed on the timing screen, so not sure what has happened to Andy there, but he's dropped off the back of Smoky Devil. And the gap between Smoky Devil and Looty McShooty now is 8 seconds. So Looty McShooty is not looking back here. He's really getting that power down and getting on with this one.
Yeah, look at him. He's miles ahead. Constantly lapping in the 45. So Looty McShooty, your pit for the race, is doing an absolute blinder right now. He's using the open air to his advantage. 9 minutes in now. So he's just got to keep doing what he's doing, and he should have this in the bag. Smoky Devil having a great race as well, holding there in second.
Yeah.
But Andy didn't have a great lap that lap. He did a 1:49.0, so definitely right off the pace. Maybe he had a slowdown, maybe he's hit the wall or something, but Melted Deza has really started to catch up to him as well, and BT Tiger as well. This little spread out train, but they're kind of sticking at each other's own pace.
Yeah, matching each other here. One boy that's excited me in this one is John Boy. From by the back of the grid up to P6, he's doing what the others couldn't, and with Little Leach, G and Motor Morgan finishing solo down in this race 1, is he trying to stake a claim to go into the final race of the season at Monza Short next week with an outside chance at the title? we'll have to wait and see. But he's doing a good job so far. If he can get closer to BT Traga, that guy has a penalty. So that could be P5 for John Boy at the end of this one. And John Boy's really one to watch at the moment. Melted gaining on the back of Andy here. And Andy just looks like he's struggling in the evening time here at Monaco. Just doesn't seem to have the pace.
Smoky Devils looks like he's lost the pace there. He's lost a lot of time there.
Yes.
He's now 10 seconds back to Luty McShooty. And Andy, was faster that lap. So these guys, you do start to struggle with the front tyres. The front tyres start to struggle, and then you get a lot of understeer. So maybe these guys are just getting caught out a little bit.
Melted 1.4 quicker than Andy on the last lap with a time penalty added onto that. Time penalties that they receive add on to their final time. So how quick was Melted last time around? Luty McShooty 10 seconds up the road at the moment. He's coming through Portier at the moment. BT Traga, Melted Andy and Smoky Devil all battling it out on track. John Boy will be on the back of that pack soon as well. G's managed to get past Little Each, I notice on my timing screens. Morgan has managed to get past Emo Guy. So now Morgan will be looking at Gary 131 for 10th place, and he's losing ground to his championship rival here. And Gary's not going to make this so easy for Morgan. We see that Gary got a penalty earlier in the season at Catalunya after a few lunges that was questionable over motoring Morgan. And I think Morgan was a bit, in my opinion, I see why Gary got the penalty, but at the same time I think hard racing at times. Melted has gone up to second. What's happened to Smoky Devil and Andy? Melted and BT Traga. Oh, that's Andy recovering from a mistake, and that's John Boy who's just span round Smoky Devil. So the good work of this race for Smoky Devil has all gone wrong now, and John Boy hit him round as he was recovering. Could John Boy face a steward's inquiry after that one? I'm not sure, but BT Traga now into P2 ahead of Melted John Boy's lost ground to them. Andy's now down to P5. Shoulders in 6th place with the only G now up into P7 as Smoky Devil's all the way down in 13th. It's gone horribly wrong for him after he came out the tunnel.
Oh my god, what's happening with these guys? I thought we were going to see some good, clean, hard racing, but it just seems to be a bit messy from these boys. But the man who's keeping it clean at the minute, he doesn't have to worry about anything. Is Luty McShooty. Everything's happening behind him. BT Traga is in the perfect position right now. Everything good around him, but what's going on, boys? We need to just calm down a little bit. I've also noticed G is now 6th place. Yeah. He's managed to get through all that pack, and he's now sitting in 6th. For Moto and Morgan, this is horrible to see.
What could have gone wrong has gone wrong for Moto and Morgan. What did Melted do last lap? Because 2 minute 31, yet he's still on the back of BT Traga. He must have had a serious time penalty go his way this time around. G then catching up to Andy in 5th place. 5 minutes still remain on the clock, so has he got enough time to do it? I wonder what Melted did for such a lap time, for such a penalty.
Maybe it was a possibility he came into, well, it all happened out of the tunnel into the chicane, so maybe he misjudged his braking, hit Andy, and then obviously sat and waited for Andy to come past, but then possibly all that could have happened, something similar to that.
When Project Cars gives you a return the position, it sometimes gives you like a 30-second time penalty if you don't manage to do it. I wonder if because of that and Andy and Smoky Devil had a bit of a worse spin, he's carried on with his race and it's gave him the penalty. That's not what he wants. Little Echo will want to get past Shoulders as quick as he can. Points for him in this title race. He's probably going to drop to 4th as John Boy is doing so well in this one. Just clip the wall as well there. These guys, the tier 2 lads, really ought to have a word with these guys, because it's been a bit been a fair few incidents in this race from the tier 1 lads that we're not used to seeing.
It's a little bit messy, isn't it?
It is indeed. Andy gaining on the back of John Boy, G gaining on the back of Andy. So this could be an interesting final part to this race. 4 minutes remain then on the clock. Luty McShooty 14.9 up the road, but he's not got to really worry about BT Traga and Melted It's the guy in 4th that he's really got to worry about with no time penalty, and that's John Boy. Little Each just clipping the wall on the exit to the first corner. And as he comes up towards Massenet, he's losing ground to Fury. To Shoulders, sorry.
Yeah, losing ground to Shoulders there. He's just trying to keep his clean line and trying to survive, basically. Now everyone's just trying to get around and survive, but G has done an impressive job so far, getting up into 6th place right now when he started dead last, and Andy is just a little bit ahead of him, and Andy will not make it easy for G to get past. I know that for sure.
Now Andy and John Boy will both make it very difficult. That is one you can guarantee on.
for sure. And I think I've noticed as well, Melted Dazzler has lost a lot of time to BT Targa. BT Targa has managed to pull a lovely gap to him. So he's lost like 3 seconds in that last lap. So whatever's happened to Melted Dazzler is really, really struggling now.
And he's
so maybe those...
Sorry, carry on.
Maybe those front tyres are just starting to wear for these guys. That's why they're all driving a little bit sloppy. I know that towards the end of our race, we were starting to struggle with tyres. So maybe these guys are now starting to feel the effect.
Potentially, and Daz is being pulled into this battle between John Boy and Andy. G gaining on the back of this. Could we see G step on the podium come the end of this race? 2 minute 39 remain then. Luty McShooty, John Boy's just picked up a time penalty. So G at the minute, if he gets close enough to the guys with time penalties, could finish. If he doesn't get past Andy, he'll finish P4, but if he gets past Andy, potentially P3. And Andy's going to have a look now at John Boy going into turn 1. Has he got enough done? He's got to run up the inside. And I tell you what, Andy can be late on the brakes. Decides not to be this time around as they head into Zandvoort. And G really slinging it round. Clips the wall, but how quick was G through Zandvoort there?
How quick was G in general? He did a 1:44.2.
Cracking
1:44.2. What a lap.
This is why this guy's got 30 plus world records to his name. Andy's just clipped the barrier on the outside of Massenet, and G had a bit of a look at Casino. Too far back though to do anything this time around. Over the hill they go. And G's really sniffing an opportunity to podium in this one. 1 minute 47 left, so we will get a lap in after this one. But at the moment, G doing what G needs to do.
Problem is now he's got to try and get past Andy, and Andy is not going to make it easy for him. G obviously got a championship to think of. He don't want to be fighting too hard against these guys. He knows Motor and Morgan isn't having the best race, and this is not what he wanted. But G wants to also still capitalise as much as he can, try and score more points. But with the likes of Andy, John Boy, and Melted Dazzler in front of him, these guys will not make it easy for him at all.
No, they're really not. G's just clipped the wall as he comes down towards the chicane, and that's just lost a bit of time. He's going to lose that good run out the tunnel. You can see the effects it's had. Look at Shoulders and Little Leach behind. We said Shoulders was just starting to drop Little Leach. He's not now. Fury must have made a mistake somewhere. He's no longer in P9 anymore. He's dropped back to P11. And Morgan, he's just not had the pace here. Lapping in the 46, a similar pace to the leaders. And excuse me, the cars in front. Who's that? That's Melted Dazzler wide. And John Boy and Andy get past him. Melted Dazzler's pitting?
I don't understand that. Maybe not enough fuel?
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. He can't have jumped the start when we know it's a formation start. You don't need to jump the start. I think he's jumped the start. I think he's jumped the start.
Yeah, he's doing a drive-through.
He has jumped the start when the start is then a lap round for a formation lap. Oh, Melted Dazzler, what has gone wrong there? Can Morgan get him?
I have done it myself. I remember round 1 of Donington at the touring cars. I actually done that myself. So it sounds silly, but it could be very easy to do. I feel his pain right now. He was up in top podium places, but it's just heartbreaking, that is.
It really is. Luty McShooty on his final lap and is 12.5 seconds in front. He's just coming out the tunnel section now and has drove so well. Melted Dazzler, Motor Morgan's just picked up a time penalty and has got past Melted Dazzler, but this the battle for second place, for third place effectively. Andy will inherit it with John Boy's penalty, but he's got G hassling the back of him.
Oh, will G throw it down the inside? Come on, G. Just be brave.
As we head in towards the chicane. Yeah, out the tunnel into the Norville chicane, and G has to keep it tight, but cannot keep it tight enough. Luty McShooty's coming through the swimming pool section now, and this is going to be crucial as to where... It's not going to be crucial to anything. Sorry, I don't know what I was saying there. It's not crucial to anything because Luty McShooty, although he's lost time to BT Trager, he's just cruising around these final corners. And what a win. My tip for this race 1. Is he run out of fuel?
I think he's out of fuel, you know.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
He's going to make it. He's going to. Yeah, he's done it. He's done it. Luty McShooty has just won this race. BT Trager's going to take P2. John Boy then, is he going to do enough to hold on to third place? Let's see. Yeah, John Boy takes third. Andy P4 with the only G in fifth. Andy's finishing in backwards, finishing in style is Andy. Little Leach will take sixth. He managed to get Shoulders in the end with Motoring Morgan P8. Not the race he'd have wanted. He's lost ground to his championship rival. Melted Dazzler will take ninth, but Willie over Emo Guy. We said earlier he may have had a hefty penalty. Let's see if Emo Guy gets back past him here. Emo Guy does go to P8. Can Gary gain P10? over Melted Dazzler, or is Melted Dazzler done enough? No, Melted Dazzler's just dropping down the order here. Fury's even done Melted Dazzler, so Melted Dazzler 12th. Where's Smoky Devil? Does Smoky Devil pass Melted Dazzler? He doesn't, but Melted Dazzler must have had a hefty penalty. So Smoky Devil 13th. Charlie Goff, after starting on pole position, will come home P14. Not the race he'd have wanted, like Dan and I related to earlier. Was pretty much a mobile chicane for all that, and DJ Phil kind of led everybody through as well. Formula Stewart, lucky man in P1. Indeed, he is a lucky man in P1, you're right.
Very lucky. Oh, I did wonder why he was sounding very groggy and is changing gear very early, but wow.
Risked it till the end. G gets the fastest lap of the race. Saluti Mitsuti, BT Traga, and John Boy. Motoring Morgan. No, not Motoring Morgan. Where's Melted Dazzler? Had a 21-second time penalty, so that was hefty. But me and Dan will be right back after the break, so don't go anywhere. Please give this video a big thumbs up and a subscription, but stay tuned for part 2 of this one. That was a scruffy race, one.
What the hell were they doing? Oh my god, Luti got so lucky. Oh,
down. Was cruising. Who's?
It was BT Targa hunting him down, and he was just coasting. I was noting the gap was like he had like 20 seconds over BT Targa, and then towards the end it was just like 16. 13, 7.
I thought he was just cruising around the final couple of corners, but no.
Well, I thought he was as well. He was changing gear early and just trying to
get it and nurse it over the line. Flipping heck.
Wow. Now we got pit stops. This is going to be nuts. But it was very messy from him. Very messy.
It was very from the quick guys as well at the back of the pack. I know they was trying to. Please, babe. I know they was trying to overtake Charlie Goff, but I mean,
we were cleaner than that.
G and Morgan touched at one point because G slowed down to let him back through, if you remember. Yeah, you guys was a lot cleaner than that.
I didn't, because just before the stream started, we were all like, "Oh, great, full grid of tier 2. This is going to be fucking nuts." And it turned out we were the ones who were the cleanest.
Have a word, Dan. Have a word with him.
I'm going to have a word with him. I'm going to be like, "Oi, what the hell was that about?" I am very impressed with Gary though. How he's driving. Like that. Around Monaco as well. Even when I was racing him last night or Sunday night in touring cars, I genuinely thought he was driving on a wheel. It's like he never had a knee operation.
No, he was saying he's on wheel, but he's doing buttons on wheel, and I don't know if he's using his paddles or not.
I have to find out what he's doing, because whatever he's doing, he's making himself look like an absolute legend.
He said last night, he said when it rained for race 1 at Oschersleben, he says, I felt like I had pace the minute it was dry, compared to like yourself and Andy and all them. Like, he says I had nothing. He says, so looking forward to Monza because it's wet. He says, so I should hopefully do all right in the Porsche.
Of course,
Little Leach has just put in the chat saying, sorry mate, saw the inside but couldn't stop in time. And Shoulders has just said shouldn't give him the place back. The one thing I dislike about it, there's a few Maudie people in this chat.
Yeah.
You can get a few that just are a bit like, come on.
Yeah, can be.
What's done is done. Get over it. Move on to the next race, sort of thing. I
mean, we had a messy GT3, I want to say.
Oh, Saturday
night around Suzuka.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we had so many like inquiries and steward stuff like that. I was a steward, and yeah, it was just like G was like, "Here's another one, here's another one, here's another one," and I'm just like, Melted Dazzler drive-through penalty and 21-second penalty for one slight cut on the slash chicane. Oh my god! He's not to do that.
I mean the drive-through. Oh, you've got to do a formation lap.
Just don't touch the thing. Just don't touch the steering wheel pedals.
You could literally get overtaken by everybody and still come through to get your grid slot by the end of the lap.
Yeah.
There's no need for you to be like, red, go. Oh, fuck, drive through. Bollocks. You don't need to just go. Fucking honestly.
maybe he's thinking like maybe because obviously the race 2, maybe practicing for a practice start. You know,
Possibly.
maybe.
Possibly. Well, he got
Who
it wrong,
knows?
so he needs to do a better job in race 1.
I did it in touring car, and that was my excuse was I was actually practicing for the next race, and then
like...
again and then I disconnected from the second race, and then I came back in, and my setup was all wrong, so I was driving really badly.
It's like F1. Do you know when the safety car comes out on F1, I just pause it?
Yeah.
That way I can't clip anybody. I can't touch anything to get a penalty. I'll just pause it and then wait till the safety car starts to pull away, and it's like, right, now I can go.
Yeah.
Because fuck doing that.
I need to get 2020. I haven't got it yet. I've got 2019.
But the career mode's better on it. The My Team career is hard. Looks like
you have your own team, then, don't you?
Yeah, you've got to really sort of spend your money wisely, and because you're new, all your upgrades fail pretty much. Because like your facilities aren't great, so you've really got to spend your money wisely, and it's like, pfft. Yeah.
Wow, that should be.
Oh, honestly, it's hard. Don't choose the Honda engine if that's what you're going to think about, by the way, because that's what I picked. I'm regretting that.
G's put in the YouTube. There was no way of getting through the podium. There was no way of getting to the podium for us guys at the back.
Good job, Touch. Well, let's hope for a cleaner race.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, and it's night time. Welcome back, everybody, here to Motive Racing for the feature race then at the penultimate round of the season here at Monaco. I'm Matthew Duff, and I'm still joined in the commentary box by Dan Davis, aka on Orthodubs. Dan, cracking first race, quite a few incidents and a race winner, but ran out of fuel right at the end. It gave us everything.
Yeah, certainly did have everything. Welcome back, guys. Let's see how these guys do in the night time here in Monaco. Temperatures will be a lot colder as we see Smoky Devil already struggling, but yeah, that last race had everything that you wanted. Drama, crashes, running out of fuel. Anything you wanted was in that race. But as we saw, the championship leaders very much did struggle. Other than G, he said he was struggling to get to the podium, and he knew it was going to be a hard deal. But Luty McShooty got away with murder with that race. He got very, very lucky that he just had enough fuel to get to the end.
Indeed he did. One man who will be praying for a better race. I tell you what, it couldn't have gone much worse for him, was this man motoring Morgan on screen. We say that everything you could have asked for happened in that race. It didn't for this man. Everything that you couldn't have asked for happened for him. And he came away with, I think, a P8, P9 in the end. But compared to G's P4, the championship is slowly slipping away, even into Monkey Boy in the chat. So good to have you here, buddy.
Yeah,
G, though, one hand on the title possibly here, with another good strong finish over over Motoring Morgan, and with 3 rounds left to go, what can he do? Even into that Bozzy Boy, aka Liam Gamer over at Simplay. So even into Liam. I see some of the Simplay lads come here to check out Motive Racing. Give the guys a thumbs up on this channel, boys. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because it really does help the lads out here over here at Motive Racing. Please do that one. Pole position for you then, Dan. It's hard to look past G, but any other outside tips?
I want to say G for pole, but don't discount Luty McShooty. He was quick in that last race. As you see him have a flash of the lights. Yeah, he was very quick in that last race, and he was doing a 1:44 at one stage, so Luty McShooty would also be put up there as well. But other than that, maybe John Boy can get himself up there. Maybe Little H. But I think Motor Morgan as well. Andy, I'm struggling. Andy seems to be struggling tonight, and I think he might struggle to get near the top. He might put it 4th, maybe, I would say.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He doesn't seem to be on the pace as the rest of the guys. We've seen Motor Morgan go really sideways in the background. Really hanging that Clio
pushing
out.
the Clio to the edge. Evening to Kurt Hodgson, sorry. So hello to you. Yeah, I think I'm with you on this one. It's hard to look past G. Luty McShooty was in the 44s as well in the race last time round with G. Look at the purple lights of the beautiful nighttime skies here at Monaco. The lights from the city really lighting up this track. Beautiful circuit in the dark.
I wish I was racing in the dark now.
Oh, looks absolutely immense, doesn't it? Looks absolutely beautiful. Gary131 did a great job in race 1, says on the wheel using the buttons. Did a fantastic job, and can he keep that form going into the next race? He's going to finish, I reckon, mid-table in the championship. But he's doing a good job, still getting to grips with how the wheel now works. Obviously, the brake film is going to feel a lot more worse than normal. Accelerator, you can pretty much just put flat down on project cars when you come out the corner at times, but the brake, sometimes you just want to ease it, and he's not going to have that luxury on the pedals. But Gary got on alright. Mtcc had a drive-through penalty when he didn't really need one, and he also picked up a 21-second penalty, so it wasn't the race one for Mtcc. Finished way down the order in P13, I do believe, or P12, something like that, early on in the race, so not what he'd have wanted at all. As we see Fury there just in front of him. Mtcc currently on provisional pole. Smoky Devil 9/10 quicker than him. Emo Guy's back in the pits. DJ Phil has gone 6 seconds slower than Mtcc there. Andy crosses the line, goes P1 at the moment, 2 seconds quicker than Mtcc. So a good lap time from Andy in the 45.7s. We know Luty McShooty and G have done 44s in the race. So what can they do at the minute? Shoulders has just gone into P5 on board G. Currently, Motor Morgan's only gone 6th fastest at the moment. Luty McShooty has popped one in at 5th place. 10 minutes left to qualify, so plenty of time for these guys to get a lap done and get one in the bag here. As he comes through the casino part of the track, he heads down towards Maribor, and he's as late on the brakes as he can be. Get it tucked in nicely to the right hand side, and then into the hairpin corner, so tight you're pretty much letting the car roll round, and then on the power through down into Portier. Then that bright purple light, lovely, that looks really nice, into the tunnel. You don't get to see the tunnel lit up mainly, a lot of the times it's normally a bit dark. And one thing the drivers won't have is that bright sunlight as they exit the tunnel. They just come out into, look at that scenery, that is absolutely beautiful here. And he heads down then into the Norville chicane. This looks a fantastic lap from G, and as I say that, he touches the sausage curb and bashes into the wall, and I'll have to back out that and go again. Just as I said, it looked a good lap. Motory Morgan then, currently down in P9 at the minute. He comes through the Norville chicane and gets it absolutely bang on it like you would want to do. Bit of traffic in front, but I'm sure he's not going to worry about that. John Boy currently sits P11, not got a lap time in at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think these guys are just trying to clear some space. Some of these guys are having their laps invalid, so maybe they're just trying to find some space, get some clear air, and try and put a lap down. I know for sure Monaco is very tight and twisty, and the last thing you want is traffic, so maybe these guys are just trying to find some space. But as we see Motor Morgan now come out the final corner and makes his run down towards the line. Can he improve from 9th place as he comes across the line now, and he goes to
pole,
top of the table.
Great lap from Motor Morgan, 6/10 quicker, and wow, he's really clattered the wall there as he bounced off the curb. 6/10 quicker than Andy then, who didn't seem to improve last time around at all. Motor Morgan's pulled it back into the pits. Luty McShooty has done the exact same time as BT Trager then, 8/10 off the pole lap. Luty McShooty's one to watch out for. Little Each, Fury, Emo Guy and G still not yet currently set a lap, and Little Each has one headlight here. Oh, and he's just clipped the wall on the exit of the Norville chicane, so not what he'd have wanted at all. Fury's heading into the hairpin corner. And Dan, just talk us through a bit of a lap from Monaco. I've just got to take a quick toilet break, 2 seconds.
That's okay. So if we go and follow Andy around, he's coming down into this tight right-hander. It's very difficult to miss your braking here, but he hooks it up really nice, and then into the hairpin, really slow corner, and you just got to be patient, making sure that you just hang in there as you go into this part of the section. And again, it's very easy to miss the apex there, but you make some nice run here and into the tunnel. You want to try and stay as close to the wall as you can, but as you come into this fast right, you want to get as close as you dare to that wall and get a great run out of the corner. As you come into the chicane now, you want to look at braking at 100 meters, braking hard, you're trying to get the car stopped, get a nice movement out of the corner there, and try not to cut it too much, or else you will get a penalty or a lap disallowed. Just braking at the 50 lap board there, and Andy just goes a little bit too hard, gets it sideways and clips the wall as we go into the first part of the swimming pool. Fast section here, and then into the last part of the swimming pool. Can't miss your braking there, and then you can shoot yourself wide and into the barrier. Finally into the final set of the corners, where Michael Schumacher famously stopped Fernando Alonso from going pole at Monaco here. As he comes into the final corner, got to hook it up right and get a good exit and drive to the line. I don't think Andy's going to improve this lap, but as he comes across the line now, what time does he set? He does improve. He goes to 45.4. So Monaco is such a difficult circuit around here. As you see, BT Tiger now coming down into the tight hairpin as he come down now, and he goes into the pits now. But G currently gone fastest now with 1:43.9. He's a second ahead of anybody else. What a lap is G just sent down now. And Mochi Morgan, does he have anything to answer back as he comes through the final corner? Can he put himself in front of G or get anywhere near G as he comes across the line now? He sets a time of, and he doesn't improve. He stays in second place. But what a lap from G there. What does Luti Mashuti do? He goes into the tunnel now, and he's just pushing that clear to its limits. But G showing already how quick he is around here into the swimming pool section. Is he going to improve this lap? Has he got Smoky Devil in front of him? Smoky Devil might need to get out of his way. He's coming to the final section of the track now. Smoky Devil going to get out of the way. No, Smoky Devil still getting in G's way, but as G comes into the final corner, can he make a good run out the final corner? Might get a little slipstream from Smoky Devil. Smoky Devil finally getting out of the way, but here comes G now. What time does he set here? And he improves again, a 1:43.7. Just missed it at Matt. He did a 1:43.9. No one anywhere near that, and he's just gone 2 tenths faster again. G is flying.
That is absolutely extraordinary. I've missed the 2 laps from... Oh, you can't describe how this man qualifies because he's absolutely brilliant. Morgan 1.2 seconds behind Andy in third. Luti Mcshuti not being as quick as I think we thought here in this one. Andy really chucking that car about there.
Yeah, possibly because of the colder conditions. Being at night, maybe the colder conditions is affecting people like Luti Mcshuti and not... Or maybe he just hasn't had the luck of traffic. It just takes one car, and as he come into the casino, I believe casino, is it?
Yeah, casino now.
A little bit twitchy as he comes in through there.
One man who shocked me at the moment, he's not set a lap time. Little Each. What is going wrong with the man who currently coming into this week sat P3 in the championship? He's not managing to get a lap time in here. It's very easy to lose a lap with contact with the wall, and as we can see, all there is walls, so it's very easy to lose a lap time here, and Little Each just struggling to get one on the board. His brother Gary sits P9, and they think he clipped the wall on the exit to the corner there. Will he do one as he crosses the line this time around? I'm sure he'll want to. And he gets one in, and it puts him P10.
Right
well
behind
off
his
the
brother.
pace. Yeah, well off the pace though, Dan.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys seem to be struggling, but the one guy who isn't struggling is the only Chi as he comes through the final set of corners. I was following him in practice, trying to figure out how he gets around here, and he was doing 1:44s, but the guy is doing 1:43s now, and he's on another level. It's just unreal to watch.
Yeah, I get lost for words when he sets laps times like this. You see him and Motory Morgan have such a fight all season, and you think, oh, this is a great battle. Then you see G do qualifying lap times like this in the second race, and you think, how is Morgan keeping with him in the race times? I know qualifying's a lot different to the race. You can have a bit of a different setup, maybe lighter on the fuel load, but G, he's just qualifying. He's on another level. John Boy's just moved himself up into P4 ahead of BT Troga and Luti Mcshuti. So he's trying to stick with Andy as best he can. Only a couple of hundredths behind Andy. In fact, no, he's only 3 thousandths behind Andy's time. So John Boy will be looking for a couple of places then. 2.5 minutes remain.
Just looking at the comments here, Monkey Boy is saying that this is going to be fun in the GT3s.
Oh, Monkey Boy, this is going to be epic in the GT3s over at... if you're a regular viewer of Motive, you'll know that Unorthodox Fury, Emo Guy, G started last week, DJ Phil, and Andy commentates with myself over at Simplay Motorsport. Go and check us out, guys, because we have got some cracking drives, especially from these lads from Motive who come over as well and try their hand in the GT3s there. That's got Monaco has been selected for next season, so it should be an interesting one. As Morgan's in the pits with 1:58 to go here. He's got DJ Phil's lost it coming out the tunnel, and he's going to get in the way. Who's that? That's Luti Mcshuti. Not intentional there at all. Just one of them that's happened. Motory Morgan will not get out for another lap. Neither will Little Each. Neither will DJ Phil. So Morgan will not get pole position here. He'll not be able to fight for pole position.
I think G will probably then put it in the pits. If he's done, then he'll probably just pop it in the pits, and that'll be it.
One man who's popped up into P3. Look at that from Emo Guy. What a lap that is.
I didn't
Heck
see
of
that
a lap.
lap.
No. Heck of a lap time. Andy's jumped John Boy and BT. No, Andy stayed in front of BT Trogger and John Boy, sorry. But Emo Guy up into P3. Heck of a lap time there.
Last minute dive from Ian there. He's just thrown in his cards for this race, and he's not far off Moto Morgan's pace. So interesting now to see Ian getting himself involved. After a poor race one, he wants to have a good race too. So as you see him now, he's coming through the final part of the track. Maybe he can improve his lap time and maybe get in front of Morgan as Morgan's sitting in the pits. So Morgan really has put himself at a disadvantage right now as these guys start to finish their laps. What does Ian do? He will get another lap as well. So what does he do?
There's no improvement.
His lap.
No, if Ian finds a couple of tenths, Andy, John Boy and BT Trogger find about half a second, Motor Morgan could find himself P6 by the end of qualifying.
He's coming out, but I don't see why he's coming out. Maybe just to get a bit of practice, but he's not going to get a lap in time. Unless he cuts some corners, but then again, you still won't get around.
No, 20 seconds. He's pretty much got to take the Formula E route round the track to even stand a chance, and even then I think he's pushing his luck. But let's hope he's not come on the track to be a bit of a havoc to the guys who slung quick laps or can get a quick lap
Hopefully
in.
not doing a Rosberg.
No, hopefully not.
Did you see in the comments?
Oh,
Gary
that's controversial.
As Gary goes and puts pants, so he's not obviously happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of let Gary off, but you know he's just come out from a knee operation last week. Second race back after the Toro. Ah, no, he is, and a racer at heart. He's Gary, and he wants to be up the top all the time and fighting for the podiums and the wins. But he's just got to make do with P11 at the moment. Shoulders then, Fury still out on track. Andy is
didn't
done.
Improve.
No, G didn't improve. Oh no, G did improve.
No, G.
Oh,
he did.
God. 2 more tenths G's found. Emo Guy's just clattered the wall, so I don't think he's going to improve there.
Morgan will be safe. And their shoulders can pull an amazing final lap. I don't see Morgan losing that second place, but yeah, he's just a little bit too messy. What is Fury going to do? Fury's had a great run out the final corner.
Got a bit of a slipstream, yeah. Got a little bit before Shoulders put it in the pits, and thankfully Shoulders put it in the pits, and Fury goes up to P13, but it's not enough then. We have Morgan who's coming to the end of, and he's just going to dive straight back in the pits. Don't see what that was for.
I think it was just an explore lap, wasn't it? Just to figure out a few things and maybe change a few setups, but there we go. G owning that qualifying session by a mile with a 1:43.5, with Moto Morgan next to him on the front row, the 2 championship contenders. An amazing P3 from Ian as well, so it's going to be very spicy going into turn 1.
It really is. Can G and Morgan have a better race in this one? Can Morgan needs to get the better of G in this one, and East Hope G has a bit of a poor race. It's going to be a fascinating one to watch. Don't go anywhere while we just wait for them to go to the next screen and ready up. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back shortly. So as we wait for the guys to ready up then, sort their last minute preparations out, sort the strategies out for the pit stops. Just to remind you, you cannot pit until after lap 7, I do believe it said on Discord. I'll just double check that one for you. Yep, you cannot pit until after lap 7. It's a 22 lap race here at Monaco. Who's your tip for the win here? I think it's hard to look past any guy on the front row, isn't it?
I think if anyone's going to take the win, it's probably going to be the only G. Unless something ridiculous happens, like he get caught up with a back marker or something like that, you can't look past the only G. But maybe Ian can throw in a surprise. Moto Morgan needs to show that he's better off in a race than in qualifying. But if it was me, I'd put my money on G. But anything can happen. This is Monaco.
Anything can happen indeed. Emo Guy will be loving the fact he's P3 on right up in this championship battle, Mitch, and he's not going to be bothered about it neither. He's not going to worry that G and Motor and Morgan are up for the title. He's just going to want to get his head down and be the Flying Scotsman. See if he can get a podium in this one then. We're just waiting, like I say, for the drivers to get their setups ready, the fuel strategies, the pit strategies ready as well.
Charlie Goff saying in the YouTube chat, Monza will be a better track for me next week. Monza being a very different circuit, a power circuit and a slipstream circuit. You got Monaco, you want to be all on your own and just focus on your lap time. Monza, you want to be following someone. So 2 very different tracks, but right now we're focusing on this race 2 here in Monaco.
We saw last season at Monza, Tier 2 and Tier 1, the slipstream was so powerful, and if he was in that slipstream there was such good battles going off. So next week could be a really good session for both Tier 2 and Tier 1 guys, depending on the weather. We'll have to see what the weather holds as we're about to get underway. The drivers have sorted their strategies out, all 15. The revs are starting to rise. Who's going to get the better start on the front row? We're green here at Monaco for the final time tonight in the feature race, and G's got a great start. Morgan's going with him though, and he's going to keep G honest as we head down into turn 1. The Flying Scotsman didn't get the best of starts, and John Boy has... Oh no, it was Andy. Oh no, Andy and Andy and Emo guy. John Boy as well in the wall. That's not what they wanted. The lap 1 coming up towards Maribor. I was about to say Emo guy didn't get the best of getaways there. Neither did Andy, and look now, Emo guy. Is he waiting to let Andy past? I'm not sure. Andy's gone. But Morgan was more than a match for G off the line, but he couldn't get the move up the inside. Melted Dazza is now into P3 with BT Traga 4th, Smoky Devil in 5th place. Little Each from pretty much nowhere on the grid is up into 6th already, so a great start from him. Evening to Nico Muller on Twitch. He says hi, so good evening to you, Nico. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. 26 likes on the videos, guys. That is top stuff. If you haven't liked it already, please do, and we appreciate everything you've done. But G and Morgan are already pulling out a gap here to Melted Dazza, and G, heading down towards the Norville chicane, is leading from Motory Morgan by 0.3 of a second. He cannot afford one slight mistake because Morgan is all over the rear of him, and look how tight they get to the wall as they come down the straight.
Yeah, very much so. Morgan needs to start making moves as soon as possible, or else G will just run away, and I think that maybe he's lost his chance. First lap was really where he needed to surprise him, and G is now starting to spread his extend his legs a little bit and start to pull away. But Melted Dazza has had a great start there, getting into 3rd place and avoiding all the chaos that's happened at the start. But I'm still not sure what happened to Andy and Emo Guy and John Boy, for in fact. But you see Little Leach has gained a penalty from that lap. We see Shoulders is getting under massive pressure here from Gary. Gary is really getting into the fun of this second race and really trying to push his way through. But the Leach brothers are really pushing their way through the pack now, aren't they?
Yeah, really doing a top job here. You can tell that they're kind of working together as well in similar liveries. And who's that? That's Fury getting overtaken by John Boy. So John Boy on a recovery drive here. Bethany Ann says, just get on with it, Gary. He's trying, Beth. Put it out way. He's trying.
He's got to move. He's going to have a look at Shoulders down the inside, and Shoulders just shuts the door on him.
Good driving from Shoulders. Not making it easy on Gary. Gary's going to have a look into the casino complex now. Smoky Devil up front was defending into Maribor from Little Leach. So the Leach brothers really attacking the guys in front. And look at Little Leach. He's going to have a look up the hairpin corner.
Oh, BT
Dazza just closed the door. Yeah. Shoulders nearly lost the rear as well, but BT Traga dropped it, so Smoky Devil put it in the wall.
Really hard there.
And Smoky Devil's pushed Traga wide, and Little Each has been gifted a move up the inside. Cameraman has not picked it up here as we come through the tunnel now. Then Little Each has got himself up into P4. Shoulders and Gary as well past BT Traga, but Gary still hasn't got past Shoulders. We head down towards the Norvo chicane now. Gary was nearly in the Arnco barrier, and he's going to try and look around the outside, and Shoulders has to cut the corner. Oh, and he's turned Gary around! On the exit of the Norville chicane, Gary has been turned around by Shoulders. Well, I was going to say that these two was being heads and shoulders above the rest, but they're not now. Andy has made his way back up into P9 and he's in the top 10. Where is G? We've lost G! No, he's not. He's winning. He's not.
Oh, don't do that
lost
to
from
me,
this
man.
race? I apologise. We've lost somebody from the race. I thought G span early on, but he didn't. It was John Boy, Andy and Emo Guy. They're all still there. We've lost somebody from this race and I can't tell who it is. I thought we'd lost G for a minute. I thought G had spun, but he didn't. I apologise to everybody. G's.
Oh, you gave me a heart attack then. I thought I was cursing G then, but...
Oh, I apologise.
I'm still not sure who we've lost here. I believe we still got everyone.
We had 15 drivers. I'm sure we did. Oh well, race continues. G,
Yeah, it was
7/10 ahead of Motor and Morgan at the moment, going well.
Motor and Morgan just has brought that gap down a little bit and is still lapping as well as G. He actually lapped a 10th quicker that lap, but I tell you who's impressed me is Mtcc. He's not losing them. He's only 2 seconds back and he's lapping as quick as they are. So Mtcc really kind of got his act together out of his little shenanigans in race 1, but in race 2 he's really got himself up there. His Little Leech has now managed to get himself up into 4th place.
We've lost Luty McShooty.
Luty McShooty.
Luty McShooty's
race
retired.
Race 1 winner is retired, so not the best race 2 for him, but Little Leech has now cleared this lot and is looking great now in the race. He wasn't looking so good in qualifying, as we see Smoky Devil just outbrake himself a little bit there, which gives BT Tiger a good run through the chicane. Maybe he can get him into the next corner, but it's going to be a hard job around the outside, but can he give it a go? Smoky Devil
Smoky Devil is in the wall, and BT Troger and John Boy had to avoid him there. And they've gained an extra place. John Boy on the recovery, don't forget, after a lap 1 incident with Emo Guy and Andy.
Yeah, very good job of those two, just avoiding Smoky Devil. Could have been an absolute mess, that was. Great driving from those guys, but unlucky for Smoky Devil. Just got a little bit too excited into that corner. As we see towards the back, we've got Shoulders getting a bit of pressure from Emo Guy.
Fury's in the pits. No, Smoky Devil's in the pits. You're not normally allowed to pit until lap
Unless
7.
he's got a drive through.
Oh, not another one. Surely Smoky Devil and Mtcc. Yeah, he has. He's got a drive through. Oh, Smoky Devil.
Hang on a minute. Motor and Morgan's leading.
Oh, what is that? And it leading by a good amount as well. G's hit the wall somewhere. His front bumper is bouncing all along the floor. So what has happened to G? Morgan's got the look he's needed. Surely he's been to the church of Jamie Brazier because he's got the look he wants going into this second race. And the only G here then. Look at Mtcc sticking with him. He's doing a top job, like you said earlier. Brilliant stuff. Can Little Leech get involved in this battle? With G making mistakes, then.
Yeah, I was just about to say, with G making mistakes, and if Motor and Morgan makes the mistakes as well, these two won't have as easy as they first thought, but Motor and Dazzler is really just hanging with there. It just takes the leaders to get silly little penalties, and Mtcc is really in the driver's seat at this point, but he's just got to keep it calm, keep it cool, and he can keep up with these guys.
Matching the laps times, I know he was a bit slower than Motor and Morgan last time around, but was quicker than G. Look at John Boy on the back of BT Trogger here. John Boy, a real front runner in this one. I want to get past him as he knows he needs to close as many points to Little Leech as possible. Look at Andy defending from Fury. Then there's Gary in the background. And a bit of a battle into the back behind there as well. Smoky Devil and Shoulders side by side. Excuse me, that's it. Smoky Devil has done his drive-through penalty. Emo Guy's there as well. And he's going to look up the inside. Is he? No, he's backed out to that one. Smoky Devil all over the place, though. Coming through the corner then. G gains on the back of Motor and Morgan. Look how quick G's gained on the back of him. He was 2 seconds behind last lap. Now he's 7/10 behind. Oh, G, I'm in awe of G because he is absolutely brilliant. Mtcc just dropping off the pace now, and Little Leech was 2 seconds quicker than him last time around. BT Troger in the 45s, as was John Boy. So these guys catching Little Leech.
Slow down, I think, that lap because he's done a 146. Maybe he had to slow down that lap, but BT and John Boy are starting to catch up to him. Andy's finally cleared Gary and Fury, so Gary's starting to struggle now after he's settled down a little bit. He's still got this battle going on for Shoulders. Ian and Smoky Devil, make sure you give each other enough space, boys, because it's going to get tight up at the top of the hill. Yeah,
they're coming to Massenet now, and Emo Guy is up the inside, but cannot get the lunge he wants. So Shoulders is run wide on the exit to the corner, and into Casino they come, and Emo Guy has got the moved on, and a bit of a tap on the rear from Smoky Devil, and they lean on each other again as they head down towards Massenet, towards Mirabeau. And maybe Smoky Devil a bit cheeky there. G looks like he's trying to make a lunge into the Norville chicane then. On Motor and Morgan, he's really hassling him now. Morgan's got to motor along. Surely he's not going to go around the outside into Tabac. Didn't think so.
We're also seeing Mtcc is losing time to these guys as well, but these guys right now battling hard. They keep battling too hard. Mtcc is going to be wanting to catch these boys up and pick up the pieces, but these two have so much respect for each other and give each other so much room. But G is just trying to find his way through. He's lost the lead, so right now Motor and Morgan is in the driver's seat. He has track position, so what can G do? Maybe he has to undercut him or something when he eventually allowed to pit. But at this rate, he needs to do a big send it. And with Motor and Morgan in front of him, these two have too much respect for each other, so he won't do a horrible move that will jeopardise both of them. But G got a great run there.
He did. For me, G doesn't have to send this. G outscored him in race 1 and already leads the championship. G could sit back and let Morgan go with this one and see what happens after the pit stops. But G's a racer and he wants the win more than the second place. He's not as much of a Colin Turkington and just picks up the points where he can. He wants the wins and will always go for it if the opportunity's there. Yeah, always just less aggressive than Sutton, if you ask me. But no, okay. G wants the W. G wants the W at any opportunity. Like Ash Sutton, yes, but cleaner. BT Target. Where's John Boy gone? He's dropped off the back of. Yeah, he's dropped off the back of these boys. Must have had a problem this lap because it was actually quicker than BT Target and Little Leach and Melted Dazzle last lap. So it must have had a problem. Gary has dropped Fury then. Fury has dropped well back here and he's on the. Emo Guy's on the back of him. Oh, an Emo Guy up the inside, look, at the hairpin corner. Done. Great move from Emo Guy there. So a top move. And look at G. Is he going to go around the outside of Tabak again? He surely isn't going to make it right around there. No. Breaks and lets Morgan have the corner. On board G then. In towards the chicane before the swimming pool. I can't remember the name of it. I apologise. But we're at the swimming pool chicane now. Right, left. Very quick section here. And now into Raskas. Lovely corner. The cutback on this track can be very effective, but Morgan's too wide to let G have the cutback.
Yeah, looks like Morgan has got G covered at the minute. No matter what G can do, he can't seem to find a way past. So at this minute, where he's starting getting a bit exciting, is now starting to be a bit of kind of a follow the leader situation. But just kind of keep an eye on this fight as well between BT Targa, Little Leach and John Boy. I think Little Leach has actually lost out to BT. Yeah,
BT Targa's actually got past Little Leach on the last lap, so we didn't get to see that one, but he's lost a position. They're still all gaining on Melted Dazza slightly. They didn't on the last lap, but I'm sure they'll be back on the pace to gain on Melted Dazza at some point. Look at Smoky Devil, Emo Guy and Shoulders here. This battle's resumed for P9 now. Smoky Devil in front of this pack.
Emo Guy's lost out big time to these guys. He was in front of them and was pulling away, but now he's...
I tell you what, we've lost Fury.
Yeah, we have lost Fury. I don't know where Fury's done. And he says in the YouTube he's done with Cleo, so I guess he's not enjoying it. But as we look back to the front here...
And that's a massive shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. Fury could have just hanged in there a little bit longer and kind of learnt a bit more. Maybe when you get your steering wheel and pedals, mate, you might be able to handle these cars a little bit better. But as of right now, we're watching G pushing Morgan through that chicane there. He couldn't be any further up his bonnet if he tried.
Indeed, he couldn't. And he's trying to look on the back of Morgan into Tabak, but it isn't going to work. Then this section of the track really like so quick, left, right, really quick. Then into the swimming pool section. Right, left, really got to be on it all the time around Monaco. Into Raskas now. Morgan's planting that car exactly where he needs to. Pit window, is open, and G has chosen not to pit this time around. But look at this little scrap, absolute fantastic stuff. G pulls out now, but it's the wrong side of Morgan. Morgan has planted that car inch perfect tonight so far, Dan. I don't know about you, but Morgan's doing a stellar job.
He really needs to, after that horrid race 1, he really needs to make sure G stays behind him. As we see, one person's already bailed for the pits, and that is John Boy. He's going to get his pit stop done and out the way. As we go back to this fight, I want to look at other fights, but this one just seems to they're always just so close to each other. Morgan can't afford to let G pass.
It's so odd when you get to this stage of season as well, and it is the two championship rivals, because you want to give everybody else the fair share of screen time, but at the same time, you want to watch that battle for the title, and it's so intriguing. And with G pressurising Morgan all the way here. Andy not really had the greatest races here in P6, been a bit quiet. John Boyce obviously pitted and lost out them places, and G still hasn't got past motoring Morgan here. He's got to line him up somewhere, he's got to outsmart Morgan. It's not the easiest thing to do though, it's easier said than done. My dad always used to say to me that karting's one thing, Matt, passing's another, and that is proving to be the case around Monaco.
Yeah, G may have the pace, but it looks like that Morgan has got the patience and the defending down to a T. I mean, G is lapping considerably quicker, even though he is behind Morgan. So it just shows how well a job Morgan is doing. A 1:44.9 G did last lap, and Morgan did a 45.3. So
it just goes to show, Dan, that round this track you can be quick, but you just cannot overtake. You've really got to try and be a bit aggressive.
G's looking for around the outside.
Is he going to try for the cutback?
cutback?
Nah, Morgan's got it well placed, well covered off. Bethany Ann Duffin says, Emily said go Gary. So Gary's got a bit of a female fan base here. Gary, obviously, one for the ladies.
Yeah, Gary's doing a great job considering he's had a knee operation, so let's see. G's on board. Okay, so we're going to move on to G's on board and we'll just...
Morgan's just caught the wall! And G's got to run coming up towards... I've lost the corner name. Where is it? Up towards Massenet. G has got the run, but Motoring Morgan... I tell you what, how's he kept it there? After he's clattered the wall, G around the outside. Morgan squeezes and squeezes and squeezes and into Casino. G's going to have that move done though. Morgan around the outside. Into the wall, and G gets it done now then. Around the outside at Massenet, up the inside at Casino, and as we head down towards Maribor, 2 touches of the wall there for Motoring Morgan has meant that the only G will retake the lead, and he's just got to get rid of them mistakes here now. G has made that mistake to drop back to P2, and he can't afford to do it again.
No, he needs to stay patient and consistent. He's just rubbed the wall a little bit there, and maybe Morgan might have a run on him down in towards the chicane. So we'll just see as we come down into here. But G seems to clip that wall a little bit. He's now come into the hairpin, maybe the chicane. Sorry, maybe Morgan's going to think about it, and G's just covered him off a little bit. Oh.
Through the Norville chicane there, tight as you like to the wall. Morgan ever trying to break out the only G, but it was ever so close to the rear end of him. Through to back now they go. And Morgan, you can see the amount of time he's already lost to the only G, so you can see how much Morgan was holding G up there. And I tell you what, G's done an absolute fantastic job. Little Each getting on the back of BT Traga again. These two have sort of been on and off catching Melted Dazzler all night. Melted Dazzler's now just sort of racing a quiet race in P3. But this, the battle for 4th. Both have time penalties. Oh, and BT Traga clipped the sausage curb and clipped the wall, as did Little Each. Can he get one on the brakes into Raskas? Is he looking for the cutback here? No, doesn't get it done this time around. Little Each in P5 at the moment, and he's doing a stellar job. There in front of them two, you just saw Melted Dazzler, and there behind is Andy. So Melted Dazzler started to get away, and Andy started to throw them in. But look at Motoring Morgan. He's got such a run up towards Massenet. Can he get it up the inside? I think he's going to try and lunge one up the inside. G's gone a bit wide there. Has he gone to defend the Casino corner already?
Oh, G's just gone a little bit too deep, and Morgan trying to go around the outside, but I would have been a bit more. Oh, he's going to try around the outside. Is he going to be into his braking zone as we come into this hairpin now? Oh, G just hangs in. Oh, Morgan's going to go right around the outside. He's going to have the inside for the hairpin.
That's a great move from Motoring Morgan. Up the inside he went to Mirabeau, through Portier, still battling, still side by side with G, and nearly chops off his front nose as they go through down Portier section now into the tunnel area. And the only G has to settle for P2 at the moment as Motoring Morgan... He's done absolute bits there, nearly chopped the front nose off of the only G, but he's done fantastic stuff. Down towards the Norville chicane we go. Is G going to look to send one up the inside? Bit aggressive from Morgan, but I suppose in a way you've kind of got to be aggressive round here. G nearly, look how close he gets to the inside wall.
He gets very close indeed, but let's not forget, while these two are still battling really hard, they're doing 148s. Melted Dazzler is starting to bring that gap down. He's only 6 seconds behind. So if these two keep fighting each other, Melted Dazzler might think about pitting, get his pit out of the way, and if these two keep battling, he could jump them.
G's going to send one up the inside of Raskas, but he's clipped the wall! G's in the barrier! He spun it then at Raskas, clips it with the rear of his car, and there's Melted Dazzler. Morgan's pressure has gone away from him. If I was G, I'd have probably chucked it in the pits after that. Little Each, BT Traga, Melted Dazzler. There's Andy in the background, so G under pressure now from a potential 4 cars behind him. And this has been absolute scenes at the minute because G went for the send it manoeuvre into Raskas. It didn't come off. He's Charles Leclerc'd it. And Morgan really needs to count his lucky stars here.
Morgan must be breathing a sigh of relief. We're now halfway through the race, and it's just been about these two fighting hard. They've been giving each other a huge amount of space, but Morgan has come out on top, and G just makes the silliest of mistakes, just trying to go for a move that wasn't really on, but he tried it and he kind of went wrong. But like I said, Melted Dazzler there ready to pick up the pieces as well. But also, he's not really pulling away from the likes of BT Tiger and Little Each. These two, even though they're battling hard, they're lapping quicker than Melted Dazzler.
They're doing a brilliant job of these two. Little Each doesn't seem to be putting that much pressure on BT Traga. and that's allowing them to just use each other's
I think
slipstream.
Little
Has
Leach has just
BT
gone through. Maybe
I think
he's got
Trogger's had a
slowdown.
slowdown. Yeah, he's pulled out the way there and let Little Leach through. I think BT Trogger had a slowdown penalty there. So Little Leach now up into P4. Now he's been released. Can he get on the back of Melted Dazza, who is trying to stick with the only G as best as possible at the minute?
He's doing a very good job of it as well, and Melted Dazza just... He might have had just a sniff of an opportunity at G, but G is now trying to get his head back into the game and start bringing that gap down. We know he'll bring that gap down again, but it's just going to be starting all over again. If I was G, I'd get it in the pits, maybe, possibly get it done out of the way, but it'd probably bring him out in traffic, and that might hold him up. So,
do you know something? I'm
surprised
surprised Morgan hasn't pitted neither with G having that spin. I'm surprised Morgan didn't get it in to cover off the undercut, if you like.
But if I was just sitting there thinking, it's Monaco though, you could leave it to the very last lap. Race track position is important. You get stuck behind one car, then that's it, your race is ruined. So maybe Morgan is just thinking like that. What's the point in pitting when you're going to get stuck behind someone you're not really racing? So
I'm sure these lads have done their homework. We don't really know what the time is for a pit stop. We've not really seen anybody come in the pits and out, so we've not really seen how long a pit stop can be. And if it's a splash and dash, as quick as it can be, the length of the pit lane's pretty long here at Monaco. So it'll be interesting to see how long a pit stop actually is. Here's Gary131 sat in P9 at the moment, doing a cracking job in a bit of no man's land so far. But he's got Emily and Beth cheering him on, so I'm sure he'll be happy with that one. Bit of a ladies' man, Gary. Melted Dazza. Cameraman will find him. There he is. G's not dropping Dazza at a rate of knots here, Dan. I thought he'd be pulling away a lot quicker. A 44.2 last time round for G. So stellar lap from him. But Morgan a 45,
lapping really well.
45.4, lapping quicker than Motoring Morgan at the minute.
Yeah, very much so. Morgan, I think, is just trying to stay calm and consistent and just try and keep it on the road. But G, he was quicker that last lap, but this lap he just doesn't seem as quick as Melted Dazza has made a mistake. He's dropped 3 seconds to G as we were just bigging him up. Now Little Leach is starting to come back into that play now, but we're just bigging him up, and now he's just going to make that slight mistake, which is very much easy to do.
Commentator curse, and he's not going to bring it in the pits. Little Leach will now be all over the back and clouts the wall coming into the last corner. Heavy shunt there for what's happened to BT Trogo. Is Andy's now past him, or he's in the pits?
I think he might have messed up coming into the pits because he might have overshot or something, but he's now
right, so
into the
let's
pits.
see
Now
how quick this is.
So he was just behind Andy.
John Boy's already pitted.
And it does look like a splash and dash here.
I reckon Motoring Morgan could pit and potentially come out P5. Just behind Andy.
Yeah, he'll be behind Andy. So, but the thing is, if he comes out behind Andy, a driver who's quick and very aggressive in defence.
And the thing with Andy is he loves to go late, doesn't he? He loves to pit right at the end. He loves to do the late pit stop.
So Morgan would have to do the same, unless Morgan can pull a gap to Andy.
Hang on a second.
He'll need...
G has gained 2 seconds this lap over Motoring Morgan. So if G on it, has Morgan made a mistake, or is G just on it this bad? Because he's really gained to Motoring Morgan now. It's a difficult one when to pull the trigger into, because like you say, traffic at Monaco's not what you want. You want track position. But at the minute, you're probably going to say that if you pit now, you come out behind Andy. Andy, obviously, the top 5 still to pit. As Andy's past Little Leach, so has Little Leach made a mistake somewhere? I don't know. But the top 5 still to pit. Yeah, traffic. It's going to play an important role here. If you're G, do you pit the same lap as Motoring Morgan? If you see him in, do you jump in as well? Especially now you're gaining on him.
I don't know. Maybe I would stay out. If I was lapping quicker, then why react? You're just going to stay behind him. So if you go out and go a little bit longer, if you're lapping quicker, G does a 1:44.1. That's how quick he's going. It's not the fact that Morgan did a slow lap. It's just G's that quick at this stage of the race.
Yeah, a 45.9 is nothing to grumble about at all. It's a really quick time in these cars around here. But G is just on it. And I tell you what, we're over half distance in this race. For G to be doing that sort of lap time on worn tyres while the night's getting later in colder temperatures, absolute stellar job. Nearly into the 43s that we've seen him in qualifying. He's absolutely on the limit of that Renault Clio, and look at the gap just come down between the two of them.
it was near enough 6 seconds he lost to Murray Morgan, and within like a couple of laps, he's brought it back down to 1 second. It's just unreal how good he is in these Clios around Monaco. He says he loves Monaco. He'll drive anything around Monaco. And as you can see, the Clios is his speciality around here, but he just needs to stop making silly mistakes, because at the minute Morgan has got him covered. We can keep bigging him up for his fast laps and all this lot, but Morgan is doing a fantastic defensive drive.
It's just the 2 mistakes he's made. We didn't see the first one in where Motoring Morgan got past him, and then the second one at Raskas where he lost a lot of time. If he does that this late in the race, you could possibly kiss goodbye to your race, because like we say, as quick as he is, it's one thing to gain, it's another thing to pass. That's Andy and Little each side by side as they come down to
trying to go around the outside.
Oh, he's going to do it. Oh, no, he's clipped the wall. And that just caught Andy out for a second there around the outside at Tabak. It caught Andy out. I don't think anything malicious in that one at all. But this is how much of a gap these guys have got over Andy and Little each. They're coming over the start line to start lap 15. Them two was only coming through the swimming. Oh, my days. He's 2/10 off his pole position lap. The only G is the only man on track who's... Oh, I don't know what to say. He leaves me speechless watching this man drive. It's poetry in motion. The only G is outstanding, and he's showing why he's got 30 plus world records, showing why he's leading the Clio Cup Championship here. Andy and Little each look like they've both been in the wall again at turn 1 there. Yeah, so while them two are battling, that gap's sort of gone up for the leaders to be able to pit earlier maybe.
Oh geez, looking to try and get past Morgan here, but we're sitting there bigging up G, but if I'm honest, the man of the moment has to be Morgan, just keeping G behind. We know G is quick around Monaco, and we know he's quick in these Clios. But for Morgan to keep him back for 15, near enough 15 laps, maybe more or less, but it's incredible how he can drive this defensive and still be relatively quicker than the rest of the guys. As G looks to make a move, very tight. These guys know.
Oh, Morgan clipped the sausage curb. Sorry there, Dan. Morgan clipped the sausage curb, and I thought he may have ended up in the wall, but he didn't as the cameraman panned round, and G looks to the outside of Tabak and now looks like to make the move, but he's not going to get it done into the 2 chicanes here. This is great racing from both of them, and like you say, Morgan a 45-1, not a lap to be sniffed at. It's just G makes it look. G makes it Morgan's lap times look slow, but Morgan's doing a top job.
Yes, for sure, and as we can see here, G just, I bet he's getting sick and tired of seeing the back of that green and blue Clio right now. He wants to be in front of it because he knows he can lap much quicker than him, but Morgan's just doing exactly what he needs to do. Now G is caught up to him. They're both lapping in the 146s again. They'll start losing pace to, like I said, Melted Desert and Little Leach. So,
and hats off to Melted Desert here, Dan, because he's stuck with them. The gap's never been more than 10. And at times when they started to pull away, these two will catch each other, fight each other, and Dazzler will regain all that time that he's lost. Gee, he's so quick through Massenet and into Casino there. And Morgan just got a bit of a slide mid-corner. And did that open it up for G? I don't think it has. Is he going to dive bomb into Maribor? No, he's not. Morgan just runs slightly wide there. This is great driving. Oh, Morgan there.
I don't know what to say. These two are just on another level, and they're just bringing on such a good show. I don't want to change camera because G is just...
Morgan there was Jason Plato-esque on the hairpin, just parking it on the apex, making G have to slow down even more so that Morgan can get the better run out. Jason Plato-esque. It was beautiful to watch. That was, again, not a Jason Plato fan, but we'll give him credit.
We see here Andy's back in front a little each now, and these two just can't seem to leave each other alone. They keep losing bumpers and other parts of their cars, but you see here Morgan might look like he's made another mistake going into this. They both look very slow then.
They did. They both did. Looks like, I wonder if they both had cut the chicane and took a slowdown penalty together, sort of thing, in unison. Possibly. Melted Dazzler during this battle has gained 3 seconds in a lap. Or in a lap and a half, should I say. So that is what happens when Melted Dazzler pumps in the lap times consistently. He's done such a tough job. He deserves really like a driver of the day thing, because Melted Dazzler,
I think if I was Melted Dazzler right now, I'd go in the pit.
I'd undercut, yeah. I'd totally undercut, yeah, 100%.
These two are too busy fighting each other, and it, mate, he can keep lapping his quick. They did a 49 that lap.
Do you know the thing? Melted Dazzler will go unnoticed here or unrecognised here because he's done such a good job. He's pumped in the lap times, been consistent as anything.
As you see, Little Leach is in the pits.
Because he's 8.5 off the back of the lead, it doesn't look like he's done a lot, but he's really been consistent as Melted Dazzler. He's really been on it in this second race here.
these guys have been very much an up and down race, like a roller coaster. They haven't really been doing consistent lap times. They've been too busy fighting each other. You have 1 minute where they're doing 45s and 44s.
Oh, G on the inside! He's hit the wall and tapped the rear of Motoring Morgan, and Morgan continues on his merry way. G looked to send one into I forgot the track corner, the Marabou again. And I tell you what, that's twice G sent one, and twice he's clipped the wall. He cannot get it done on Motoring Morgan here, and this is really allowing Melted a shot of this race win. Melted really should think about the undercut. Little Leach came out behind BT Trager, so down in P7. I think if these guys was to pit now, they'd still come out P4 at the moment, the leaders.
I reckon they'd be around Andy. Yeah, they reckon they'd come out just around Andy. So
honestly, if I was Melted and Andy, I'd pit this lap. Because if the leaders take each other out, and Andy and Melted has done the undercut, they could lose more than just first and second in this one for me. As you see, G getting right on the back of Motoring Morgan again. Is he going to have a look into Raskas this time? No, he's going to try and go around the outside, maybe look for the cutback. But Morgan, too wise, and is too wise to let G pass there. His
coming
game
up to
is
traffic
brilliant.
now.
Who's that? That is Charlie Goff, I do believe, that they're about to lap. G looking to make a run, but Morgan's just placing the car exactly where he needs to here, Dan.
Exactly where they need to be, and with the traffic as well, this could get really interesting. If you can hear me, Charlie, I warn you now, they are coming right at you, so just be aware of what's going on. And G looks like he had a run there, but I really think if I was Melted Daza, I would come in now. I would just get my pit stop done and out the way, if that was me. But Andy, we know, will go until the end. He will keep going until the end. And Charlie, I think he did hear me, and he gets right out of the way of these guys. Morgan goes defensive, and beautiful job by Charlie. Beautiful to see that he's got out of the way and let these guys race. But G has, look, he's trying so hard. He's got so much more pace, but he can't find a way through.
Where can G get past? Because at the moment, this is the struggles for Andy, G. Motoring Morgan is placing the car absolutely beautifully here, and he just cannot find a way through. He's trying to get the run out the corner, but can't. He can't seem to get past. Melted Dazzler's gap is still 7 seconds. So how these guys are lapping still at the same pace to keep Melted Dazzler at 7 seconds, I do not know. But where does G think about getting this move done? He's going to look into the Norvo chicane. No, he doesn't. And they get close to the wall. We're on lap 18 of 22. So with 4 laps to go here, when does G, Morgan, Melted Dazzler and Andy think of pitting? I do believe they are the only guys who haven't pitted as of yet. But it's G who's all over the back of Motoring Morgan and just cannot get this move done.
This is crazy, and I think Morgan's just ran a bit wide there, but G's trying everything, but every lap he tries, Morgan learns that move and he knows he can defend it. So, but Melted Dazzler, I don't know what he can do right here, because he's not quicker than these guys, but because they keep tripping over each other, I really don't know what they can do. And Melted Dazzler might have listened to us, and he's now finally pitted.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the undercut that he needs. Andy, will we see him in the pits as well? I don't think we are.
I think some of the guys do listen to the stream, so maybe they are listening to what we're saying and hearing the gaps, and maybe trying to hold on. But we'll know for a fact Andy will keep it as late as possible. So maybe these guys have just got one eye on Andy and seeing what he does and what Melted Dazzler does. But I've just noticed as well, Melted Dazzler has actually come back behind John Boy.
That's an interesting pit stop. So John Boy must have been putting in the laps that we've not been able to see there. Is John Boy possibly in for a race win then? Really bringing that gap down between the leaders. 21 seconds. The leaders could come out around John Boy, you know. I think John Boy may jump Andy in the pit, so could Motoring Morgan and G lose out. That's the nephew sat on my knee. He's clearly enjoying today's racing. A bit of a scream there from him. He's enjoying it. He likes what he sees.
But yeah, I think John Boy's in the driver's seat now after doing an early pit stop, and if he keeps lapping consistently, I mean,
he's got clean air. We said track position, and you look at John Boy, he's been in clean air. We don't know how long he's been in clean air for, but he's obviously lapping at a good pace where he's been able to gain time slowly.
Consistently. He's been doing 46s consistently. Well, these two are doing a 47 their last lap. So at this rate, if these two keep fighting each other, John Boy might, and he's done his pit stop. He's got his pit stop done and out the way, I believe.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he pitted early.
And John Boy might come out in front. G's looking to go right round the outside, but Morgan's got him covered. And G.
Oh, Morgan sells G the dummy there, and G nearly fell for it, but he's managed to stay out on track. And I tell you what, I do not fancy these two to win this one. John Boy has the gap down to just under 21 seconds then, and he's driving superbly. When does Andy decide to pit? Andy will inevitably lose out on P3 to John Boy. That is a given. But I tell you what's not a given is who is going to be the race winner at the end of this one. G is practically pushing Morgan around the streets of Monaco here as we head up towards Massenet for the 20th time in this race. Who is going to be the man to come out on top?
I really don't know, and I think John Boy has responded as well. He's done a 1:45.6, so he's now starting to lap quickly. And as I just turned back to see John Boy, G tries another move. These guys are just fighting too hard, and John Boy is just looking more pretty for this race win. But
they're tripping up each other, and I tell you one man, Melted Daz is only 26 seconds off the lead. Axel clearly enjoying today's race, and he's loving what he's seeing there. That was his views on it. But Morgan and G really pushing each other. Melted Dazza and John Boy giving it their all to try and gain on this. They could still yet get a podium, and G heading down towards the Norville chicane is really pushing Motoring Morgan now. Can he get around the outside, inside for the next part? No, he can't. He's pushing him down on the exit to the corner. He is pushing Morgan. Morgan is just parking this car exactly where he needs to, and G cannot get past here at Monaco.
This is nuts, and we're just under 2 laps left to go, maybe 3. These guys are just too busy fighting each other. I can't watch. And Morgan's gone a bit wide and clipped the wall, so G's got to run. Maybe we can try the outside again, but it's just the outside's too long. Maybe we can get a cut back. And Morgan and G both pit.
They both pit. This
John
is
Boy,
it.
18 seconds back. So where is John Boy going to pop out?
Andy yet to pit as well. This could be the pit stop of all pit stops here. Can John Boy make up the time? G is away. When is Morgan away? Morgan's away now, and has he been jumped? He's been jumped. The only G has done him in the pit lane. Andy leads at the moment, and John Boy's only coming through the final corner. I don't think he's done enough. No, he hasn't. No. He may be on the back of them come the end of turn 1, but I don't think John Boy's done just enough. Morgan got back past G there. I thought G did him in the pits, but he hasn't.
I don't know what's happened there, but John Boy's still with a chance if these two hit each other, but I don't know where to look. I want to look at what's going on with Ian and Gary, but these two are just pushing each other so hard.
Absolute cracking battle from Motoring Morgan and the Only G. Andy leads this race though by 4 seconds, but will have to pit. They've got to lap Charlie Goff yet again. There's Andy just coming down into Portier now, and G's going to look around the outside and maybe set himself up for Portier, but he can't get it done. These two trip up each other. John Boy's only 6 seconds back.
Charlie, you might want to get out of the way, mate, and he does so.
He's moved early.
He's lost a bit of bumper at the same time.
Oh, this is absolute scenes at the moment.
But John Boy just has to keep watching what these guys are doing, but these two are battling so hard. Yeah, it's very much a good battle between G and Morgan. Yes, I'm just watching these guys. G just bumps him right in the rear. He's got so much drive out of that chicane, and I think Morgan's got to slow down. Maybe Morgan's got to slow down.
I don't know, because he's not going to go around the outside of Tabac here, and Morgan still has it done. They're going to come round for the final lap. I tell you what, I'm on the edge of my seat. John Boy, one mistake from G and Morgan here, and John Boy is right on them. He's flashing his lights. He needs to get past Charlie Goff as soon as he can.
On,
Charlie needs to move out the way. G's going to try around the outside at Roscas for the final, for the penultimate time. Andy is in the pit lane. The nephew loving what he's seeing on screen here. And we're going to head down to the final lap of this race. Where does Andy come out of the pits? That's the question. John Boy in the background. The gap is only 3 seconds between all of them. One mistake from these two and John Boy surely will pick up the win.
There was a 7-second
It is good, Axel. You're right.
There was a 7-second gap between these two and John Boy. John Boy dropped it down to 3 seconds. They've lost 4 seconds that lap, too busy fighting each other.
The Only G's going to look round the outside at Massenet here, and he's going to go the longer way around. He'll have the inside. Oh, he's in the wall! Morgan loses the rear. John Boy will claim P2. And if you ask me, Steward's inquiry about that one, Morgan put G in the wall towards Casino Square. Can John Boy pick up the win, or is Morgan going to take his first race win of the season? It's been a cracking battle all race, and it's come down to the end. I feel there that John Boy put him in the wall maybe at the end of that one. I feel that was a bit harsh for G to end up where he ended up. John Boy, though, the man who's capitalised on this, pitting late, is now 1.3 off the back of Motory Morgan for a win this season.
Can John Boy do it? Will Motory Morgan make another mistake? It's a tough one to say on that one. G and Morgan have been fighting so well and so clean and hard all day, and just this one incident, I think G just started to get a bit desperate. Morgan just desperate to hold on, but John Boy is only a second behind, and Morgan's really struggling here. Here comes John Boy. Yes, he clouts the wall.
John Boy
really
flashing his lights. He really is. He's flashing his lights, trying to put Morgan off here. A few comments in the chat there. John Boy really flashing his lights. Is he going to try and send one into the final corner? Look at how much John Boy has gained. And Morgan looks like he's done enough to hold it, keep it together through the final corner. John Boy's got a bit of a run, and it is a long straight down to turn one. John Boy's going to pull out now, but I think he's not done enough. Morgan crosses the line, the winner. John Boy second. Oh, what has happened to G? He's fifth.
G lost all that time trying to get back onto the circuit, and he's lost out to Melted Dazza, but Andy takes third. Melted Dazza takes fourth. G fifth. Little Leech crosses the line in sixth place, sorry. As we see BT Tiger now coming across the line into seventh place. You see Charlie Goff finishing as well in 12th. Gary, where is he? He's having a fight with Emo Guy right now down to the line. Who's going to have it? But it looks like G.
This is the battle you wanted to turn to for such a long time.
But Gary's going to hang in there. Emo does his fancy little swing and spin. As we finish now with shoulders coming across into the final corner. But, oh my God, Matt. I don't know if I have any breath left after that race.
Dan, that was fantastic. G looked here, there and everywhere, but could not find the way past Morgan. Could not find the map that unlocks the treasure to get past him, take the race win. Morgan has done it with G finishing P5, maybe pending a steward's inquiry. We'll have to wait and see. But as it stands, that first race, poor result for Morgan, he's made up for it here. John Boy, though, with that early pit stop, really has benefited with a P2.
I think he's got to be my driver of the day, John Boy, to come back. To just be a couple of tenths behind Motory Morgan. That was impressive from John Boy, but it's driver of the day isn't everything. It's about the race win, and Motory Morgan has brought that gap back down to G. And what G had done in the first race, Morgan has capitalised in the second race.
Let's not forget, G was lapping in the 43s, the 44 lows. Brilliant race round Monaco. Motory Morgan takes the win from John Boy and Andy. G gets the fastest lap, finishes down in 5th. The title swings next week to Monza, and I tell you what, it's going to be a fascinating battle. Do join us next Tuesday night for the finale of the Tier 2 and Tier 1 Championship here at Motive Racing. We are back Saturday night for the LMP2s and the GT3s, so tune in then. I'm back over on the Motive Racing channel on Sunday for the touring cars. But Dan, been a pleasure as always to have you in the commentary box. What a night of racing.
Yes, very much so. I'll be racing in the LMP2s on Saturday night, so I look forward to seeing everyone, and I'll be racing with you guys over at Simplay. But what a fantastic evening. Thank you, Matt, once again for joining in with us, and to all the guys who've been watching, please like this if you haven't liked us, and follow us on Motive Racing. But what a fantastic night here in Monaco.
Brilliant night from all of us here at Motive Racing. Thanks.
Just news in, G just says that was a racing incident, so no worries.
Oh, that's good then. So Morgan will keep his race win. G will stay 5th then, so that's good stuff from G. Good hard racing. 26 likes on the stream. Thanks, guys, for everybody who's tuned in for the Tier 1s and Tier 2s. It's been a great night. Dan, my pleasure to be here, and a pleasure to commentate with you again. See you on Saturday. See you next week for the finale of the Clio Cup. From all of us here at Motive, thanks for watching. Good night.
Good night.